LiveWire's daily procedures and paperless process. This tutorial covers the general daily procedures you will go through as an employee with LiveWire. This includes action items that you must complete before you leave for a job, while you are on a job, and after the job. Since LiveWire has gone the paperless route, this tutorial also includes information on accessing and completing work documents using the iPad. Each morning when you come into LiveWire, there are 3 main steps you must complete before you leave for a job. First, you will need to open Zoho, looking at your jobs or events for the day, and all of the documents that go along with each of those jobs. LiveWire has started a paperless process, which means that you will not have any paper documents to take with you on a job. All of the information you need will be accessible through the iPad. To use Zoho, find the LiveWire Field Apps group on your iPad. Click on Zoho CRM. A screen like this will appear. It shows all of the events on the calendar for that day. Scroll through the events and find all of your events or jobs for that day. When you click on a job, the information for that job will be given on the right side of the screen. You will be able to see the projected start time and end time of the job. Scroll down to Attachments. All of the documents you need for a job will be included in the Attachments section. This may include a work order, a visual planner, or additional documents like a projector throw. Review all of the attachments for each job, making sure you're familiar with what each job entails. The second step in the morning is to call the sales representative, if there is one, for each job that you will be doing that day. Some jobs will not have a sales representative listed. If that is the case, you would obviously skip this step. If there is a sales representative connected to a job, he or she will be listed on the work order. Check each of your jobs and call each sales representative listed on your job for that day. Calling the sales representative is a very important step in the process. He or she will be able to give you additional information about the customers and the work to be done. The sales representative will give you any information that he or she feels will make the job successful. Calling the sales representative first can alleviate many problems you might encounter on the job. The final step in the morning before you ever leave LiveWire will be to load the van. The items you need for the day will have been pulled for you already. There will be an order with the pulled items. Make sure you check the order against the work order on Zoho. It's your responsibility to make sure everything is correct and that you have everything you need for the job. Think about the job you will be doing. Go through the steps in your head. Is there anything else you'll need to take with you that hasn't been pulled yet? Is there something missing from the order and work order? Do you have all the equipment you need to complete all of your jobs successfully? Even though the items are pulled for you already, you are the one held responsible if something is missing or if you don't have the tools you need to do the job. So, after you check and think through everything, do a buddy check. Have the other technician on the job check and think through everything as well. Once you have both made sure that you have everything you need, you can load the van and leave for the job. This brings us to the action items you must do while you're on a job. This may vary depending on the type of job it is. If there is a customer there and you are going into that person's house to do the work, you will have some different steps than if you were on a new construction job site. There are also items that you will need to do before you start working, while you are working, and after you complete the work. Let's look at all of that. Before you ever start working, there are some items you will want to remember. If you're going to a customer's house for an installation or service call, remember what you learned about customer service in Component 1. Always demonstrate the 8 core values, greet the customer warmly, be friendly and polite. This means you smile, make eye contact, shake hands, and mind your P's and Q's. In other words, mind your manners. When you go into someone's house, LiveWire requires that you wear booties over your shoes, or if you don't have booties, take your shoes off inside. Also, be mindful of the client. You are a guest in their house, so be neat and respectful. For example, if you want to listen to music while you're working in a customer's basement, ask the customer if that would be okay with him or her first. If so, keep the customer in mind with your music selection. You don't want to be listening to music with explicit lyrics that might offend the customer. Is the customer trying to work upstairs? If so, you don't want to have the music too loud. Is there a child sleeping or playing in earshot? Think about how your choices will affect the customer. Before ever starting the work, you will also want to review all of the documents such as the work order and the visual planner with the customer. Make sure you and the customer are in agreement about the work that is to be done. Sometimes, if there's a sales representative connected to the job, The sales representative will meet you at the customer's house on the first day of work to introduce you and go over the documents and the work to be done. Since you talked with the sales representative in the morning, you'll know whether or not he or she will be meeting you on a job. If your job is on a construction site, you will have to follow the job site requirements. This might include wearing a hard hat and steel-toed boots. The final step to remember before starting the work, whether you are at a customer's house or at a new construction job site, is to take before pictures. As you can see, Livewire wants to see before, during, and after pictures of the work. To take pictures, go to the Livewire Field Apps group again on the iPad. Click on the Camera app. Take photos of all the areas you will be doing work. Now you're ready to begin work. While you are working, continue to take pictures throughout the job. There may be times when you need to call the sales representative, if there is one, while you're working. Call the sales representative while you're working if you notice the customer needs additional items and you would like to upsell. While Livewire encourages upselling, always check with the sales representative first, if there is one, before you offer anything to the customers. You will also want to call the sales representative while you are working if something unexpected arises. If you run into a problem or you are unable to complete the work for a particular reason, call the sales representative. In other words, keep the sales representative informed about what's going on with the job. Communication is key. After completing the work, before you leave the house, you will want to take after photos of your work using the camera on the iPad again. Call the sales representative. Again, communication is key. Let the sales representative know how everything went, the status of the job, if there's anything else that needs to be done. Also, find out about collecting payment. Are you supposed to collect payment before leaving? If this was an install and there's a sales representative associated with the job, he or she can advise you on what to do. Review everything with the customer. This means you go over all the work you did for the customer. Show the customer how to use everything you've installed or serviced. Give the customer contact information in case he or she has questions or problems. If a sales representative is connected to the job, give that rep's contact information. Also, give the customer Livewire's office phone number and website address. Letting the customer know that Livewire is always there to help is an important piece of customer service. The final step before you leave the house is to collect payment, if that is applicable. If a customer would like to pay with a credit card, you're able to do that using the iPad. Go to the Livewire Field Apps group again and click on the Intuit Go Payment app. This screen will come up. Click on the first box with the amount of $149 if it is a service call. This will automatically populate the amount with $149. If you need to enter a different dollar amount for the work you did, click on the Enter Dollar Amount button at the bottom. The keyboard will come up and allow you to enter the dollar amount you need to charge. Once the dollar amount is populated correctly, click on the Checkout button on the bottom right. This brings up a screen that allows you to scan the front of a credit card. Hold the credit card up to the iPad until it reads the card. A new window will come up showing you the credit card number. Enter the expiration date of the credit card, the zip code, and the card verification value. It is the 3-digit security number on the back of the card. Once you have entered all of that, click Done. A new box comes up where the customer can sign. The customer can use his or her finger and sign in the box. Click Charge. The next screen tells you that the transaction is complete and gives you the choice of emailing a receipt or just clicking Done. Offer to email the customer a receipt. If he or she would like that, click on the Send Receipt button, fill in the customer's email address, and click Send Receipt. The screen will show you that a receipt is being sent and you are done. Remember to thank the customer again before you leave. The final step of every job is done in the van, before you even turn on the ignition. Once the work is complete and you are in the van, you will want to update the job in Zoho and send your photos to the shared photo stream using iCloud. First, click on the Zoho CRM again in the Livewire Field Apps group. Click on the job you just finished. To update the job in Zoho, you click on the Edit button. This brings up the Event Information window. First, update the actual start time of the job, the time you actually arrived. Click on the start time, change the time if needed to the actual start time, and click Done. Do the same thing for the end time. Click on the end time, change the end time to the actual time you finished the job, and click Done. Next, click on Event Status. This brings up different options. You will select the option that fits the status of the job. The conversation you have with the sales representative, if there is one, also lets you know the status of the event. Billable means that the job is completed, you have called the sales rep, and everything is done. It was a job that the customer had to pay for, and it's now complete. Non-billable means that the customer was not responsible for paying for the work done that day. Livewire was there to fix something such as a mistake. In-progress billable means that the job is not finished yet, it's a multi-day job, but it's a job that the customer will be responsible for paying for. In-progress non-billable means that it's a multi-day job. The job isn't finished yet and is a job that the customer will not have to pay for. Monitoring activation means this job was a job that produced revenue, but it was recurring revenue. Setting up a security monitoring system or updating a monitoring system would fall under this category. Again, the sales representative can help clarify the correct event status. There are also some event statuses that are not related to work done at job sites. These are admin, training, vacation, and sick. Admin means an event was time spent in the office. Training means an event was time spent doing training. Vacation time and sick time would be time charged as paid time off. Once you've selected the appropriate status, click Done. This takes you back to the event information screen. After you update the event status, you will need to update the number of resources for an event. Scroll down on the event information screen. You'll see Number of Resources. The number of resources is the number of technicians on the job. Once you fill in the correct number of resources and have updated the correct start and end time, the duration or man hours used for the job is automatically populated based on the number of people and the amount of time a job required. Finally, if you didn't complete the job and there is more work to be done, scroll back up to the top of the event information window and click on the Action Needed section. The keyboard will come up and you can type in a description of the work that still needs to be completed for that job. That's everything you will have to update for an event in Zoho. Click the Save button and you can close out Zoho. The final step before you go on to the next job is uploading the pictures to the shared Livewire photo stream. To do this, pull up your photos, select the photos you want to upload to the photo stream, click Share, then select iCloud. A window comes up asking if you want to add them to a shared stream. Click on Livewire Field and Stream. Click Post. Now your before, during, and after photos have been added to the shared photo stream and can be used to review a job. That covers all of the general procedures you will follow during the day at Livewire, as well as the paperless process that has been put into place. Livewire has put these procedures and processes in place to help you in your continued success.